report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Today's morning show can be heard by downloading the free WHOW mobile app in your favorite store.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and on the morning show joining us in this segment is Jill Maxey, Executive Director of Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County. The WHOW morning show streams live to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Good morning, Jill. How are you today?
Good morning. Doing well. Enjoying this bright, sunshiny, kind of warm day.
Oh, my goodness. The weather for March has just been wonderful. I can't get over it. I think this is the best start to March I can remember in some time. So,
Yes.
yeah. I'm just, kind of spitballing here, but does the nice weather mean much for Willow Tree Missions? I mean, I know you've got your thrift store. Are you able to, take things outside a little bit, or, does the warm weather do anything for the agency at all?
It most certainly does. We are, as you may know, bursting at the seams at the current resale shop, hence the new building. And so as soon as the weather broke, we were able to move racks of clothing outside and open up the furniture barn. And we actually had to stop donations for a few days because we had no room to put anything, which is a blessing. So this nice weather really helps. So I would encourage everybody to come out and see. We've got a lot of new stuff to check out.
Very good. And where is the thrift store there in Monticello, Jill?
So the thrift store is out by the high school at 351 West Monroe Street.
Very good. So check it out. And I know that a lot of progress continues on your downtown location. We'll dive into that here in just a bit. But I know you wanted to put a bow on February was Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And I was thrilled to be able to talk with you and not Sharon. I apologize. Susan
Okay.
last month about that. And then I got our folks in DeWitt County to talk about this, and really was, at least from my perspective, and I hope folks that were able to tune in with us, hope it was really eye-opening for me. But your thoughts as we transition to March and, just put a bow on Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month from February.
Absolutely. We had a really good campaign. We were able to deliver some educational materials to the schools in our area. We had an excellent social presence on our Facebook page with some tips and tricks and sharing facts. Your teens are becoming more involved in relationships, younger and younger. And so it's never too soon to start having the conversation with your teens and preteens. And we just want to encourage parents to keep doing that, because that's really the best strategy at prevention and having happy, healthy teens as they grow up.
Sure. I don't know how much you want to dive into this, Jill, but I'm curious if you have a perspective or a thought on it. I was thinking last night on my way home from the Monticello boys basketball game up in Clifton last night, and got to thinking about I have two young daughters myself, and raising them through this time where it feels like there's so much exposure to things of a sexual nature, and it feels like things that they are going to deal with, they're going to be so much younger, and maybe it's just the worrywart father in me, I don't know, but it just feels like they're going to be dealing with things that maybe I wasn't exposed to until maybe later in junior high and high school. It feels like they're going to be dealing with some of these things so much earlier in life. Do you have a thought? Do you have a perspective on that you could share with us?
I would say you are exactly right. They are having to deal with this much sooner than we had to. And that is kind of playing a part in this, because as parents, we're a little bit in denial about it, because it's not how we grew up. It's not what we know. It's not what our friends kind of experienced, whatever our point of reference is. But it is happening among these children, and some of those children are our children.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is never too soon to start having a dialogue with them. If they're old enough to be in any kind of a relationship, they're old enough to be having the conversation on how to respect each other and how to respect themselves.
And you know, a big difference between when, you know, we were in junior high and high school, technology is so much more a part of their lives, social media, those things. You know, and I know that Susan talked about that a little bit last month as well, but how about that from your perspective, Jill?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's so much damage that can be done via social media that parents need to be mindful of that, and the students too, so that they're, you know, careful what they post and consider, you know, would they want that kind of picture or message said about them? Would they want their parents to see that kind of message? Would they want their grandparents to see that kind of message? Just to kind of help give them a little filter in which to consider what they are sharing and what they are saying about each other.
Yeah, well, and you know, from that perspective, Jill, you know, it's interesting because a lot of parents, you know, they want their kids to have the latest cell phone and all of those things because, you know, that's, you know, they want to provide for their kids. They want them to have those things, but it can also be at some level a detriment to the child to have access to those things. If that's something that parents have done where they say, okay, here's an iPhone, here's a Google Pixel, here's whatever. How, you know, talk a little bit about keeping up with what your kids are doing there. And, you know, the latest apps, it's always changing. You know, right now, TikTok is the hot thing and all of those things. You know, talk a little bit about the best ways to keep up with what they're doing on those devices.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to talk with them and to have probably some boundaries. Well, not probably. In my family, we have boundaries. So I would encourage boundaries. You know, some things are okay at certain ages, and maybe some things need to wait until a different age. Just because it's out there doesn't mean everybody should be participating in whatever the latest app is. And then share information, you know, talk to your kids. Well, what did you see? You know, when they're on their phone, you know, what are you looking at? What can you show me? And it doesn't have to be like an invasive kind of thing. It could be conversational, you know, like, oh, I'd like to see what it is that you're up to, kind of thing. And then the parent can take that opportunity to say, you know, just be mindful about, you know, what you're looking at. And these are our family values, and these are the things that we support and encourage, and be a role model to your kids about what's okay and what's not okay.
For sure. So yeah, great conversation. And I appreciate it because it's, you know, from the perspective of a couple of parents as well. So, Jill, how about anything else on Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month that we haven't touched on? You wanted to make sure we know.
I don't think so. I think we covered it. And I just, we've got a good group of students in this community, and they're pretty amazing. They can do some pretty amazing things. And so we just need to do our part to keep them safe.
Absolutely. Again, Jill Maxey is the executive director of Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County, our guest on the phone. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Jill, just how about things happening at Willow Tree Missions? What's been going on lately? What's on your radar these days?
Yeah, so the very next thing that we have going on is our first pop-up shop of the year. We have a county-wide event, Piatt County Antique Days, and we are going to be a participant in that on Saturday. That's this Saturday, March 5th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can come shopping at the new location at 100 East Washington Street. Down there on the square, and check out some of the antiques and type of things that we have for sale. I almost don't want to use the word antique because not everything is antique-y, but it is definitely some older things and some things that I think people will find of interest. Plus, it's a great opportunity to stop by and see some of the progress we are making at the new building. So the existing shop at 351 West Monroe will also be open. So you can shop both locations on Saturday.
That's cool. Yeah, like you said, give folks a chance to check out the new location and the progress that's made there. You mentioned that this is the first of the season. Are pop-up shops a regular thing for Willow Tree Missions?
Well, they're gonna be. We don't have a full schedule, but we're gonna start with this one and see how it goes. We're gonna our overall intent for the building is to kind of renovate it in phases, and so we started with the least expensive and smallest space to renovate, so you can kind of see a work in progress, and then construction and renovation will continue. So we'll have pop-up shops kind of throughout the spring, and then hopefully more so in the summer as we're able to do so.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So look forward to some of those things. And Jill, do you want to? I'll tell you what, Jill, I can't believe it. I look at the clock. We could use a timeout. So I was going to ask about the progress of the new location in downtown Monticello, but let's save that for after a break. How do folks learn more about the Piatt County Antique Day on Saturday and just Willow Tree Missions in general? How about that?
Sure. Two ways. One, go to our Facebook page. We have an event there posted for the Piatt County Antique Day. And then secondly, you can go to the city's website and find information there.
Very good. Again, that is Jill Maxey. She is the executive director of Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County, our guest on the phone. And the WHOW Morning Show streams live to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
You connected.
Let's check markets now on the RFD Radio Network on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn mixed, beans lower, and wheat higher. March corn $7.54 up 14.5. May corn up 12.5, $7.38 December corn $6.15 down 9.25. March beans $16.97 down 8.25. May beans down 11.25, $16.78 3/4. November beans $14.70 down 7. March wheat $11 even up 98.25. May wheat up 75, $10.59. July wheat $10.42 up 75. March bean meal $461.80 down $1.90. March bean oil up 26 cents, $77.06. Livestock market at this hour. April live cattle $140.92 up 40 cents. March feeders $157.52. That's up $1.25. And April lean hogs this hour $105.35 down 85 cents. Look at the markets on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD.
New trucks and SUVs are coming here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. This is Scott Baum. Yes, we have new inventory arriving, and you can see what will arrive right on our website. Just click on the pre-order and reserve tab. From there, you'll find vehicles in transit and vehicles in production. Or just call our sales staff and we'll help. Find Silverados, Equinoxes, Blazers, including Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as our complete Buick line of SUVs. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Getting your pet's needed medications is easy with Covenant Animal Clinic in Clinton.
Yes, very convenient, especially because I live in Bloomington. It always gets delivered right to your door.
I've used the online pharmacy. It's so easy.
Click the Covenant Animal Clinic icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to learn more.
Eagle Ridge Supportive Living Indicator is affordable to everyone. Marketing Director Carla Thomas here, inviting you to schedule your tour by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and start enjoying supportive living.
Tell Amazon Alexa, play WHOW Radio to hear the morning show and all our programming right there on your Amazon Echo.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. The WHOW Morning Show streams live to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest on the phone, Jill Maxey, is the executive director of Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County. And Jill, we left off, you mentioned Antique Day in Piatt County. Willow Tree Missions is going to be participating in that from both your existing location and your renovating location in downtown Monticello. Do you mind just one more time highlighting your participation in that event on Saturday?
Sure. We have moved all of our antique type things to the new store at 100 East Washington Street down on the square. So come there for Antique Day. And then if you're interested in other things, you can still visit us at the resale shop at 351 West Monroe Street, out by the high school.
Very good. So check that out. And you mentioned it's an opportunity to check out the new location and the progress there. What is some of the progress? What's been happening downtown Monticello lately?
It is. So the proceeds from the antique shop sale at the new store all those proceeds are going to go to our flooring project. When you get in there, you'll see that we need a floor. So we have a fun fundraiser that is going on Facebook right now, where we're seeking to raise funds for the new flooring in a couple of the sections of the building. And then in the third section, we hope to, in the future, refinish it because it's a existing wood floor. So we hope to be able to do that.
Sure.
But for this particular fundraiser, our goal is $18,800 by May. So that's about $200 a day. And on Facebook, you can see the progress we're making. And I wanted to say that everybody can kind of buy your spot on the floor. We've got $1 will buy you a footprint. $5 will buy you a square foot. And then $15 will get you the whole plank. So we're encouraging people to get as many footprints, square feet, or planks as they would like, and so that we can install a new floor.
That's a really innovative idea. That's really cool.
It is super cute. That is all due to Heather and her team out at the shop. They are marketing that, and they've got little planks and little footprints that you can write your name on if you're out there at the store.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Otherwise, you can donate on Facebook, and we'll put your name on a plank or whatever it is.
Cool. Very good. When it comes to, just remind us, Jill, downtown Monticello, for folks that may be new to the regular listening of our conversations together, just give us the history of how it came to be that Willow Tree Missions is working on establishing a location and a presence in downtown Monticello. What's the history there?
Sure. Well, I mentioned before, we're just bursting at the seams at the current resale shop. So for a while, Willow Tree administrators were looking at finding some new space, something that will give us a little room to stretch and grow. And they came across the former Kaiser building. This building is about 140 years old. It is located right on the square in downtown Monticello. It was a department store for many, many years. And then maybe in the last, 13 or so, it was a dance studio, a gym. And so kids had went there to train for competitions. And it's had some various occupants and users kind of throughout that time. And so we recently purchased the building last summer and are in the throes of getting it cleaned up and renovated so that we can kind of return it back to that department store life it once had. And it will become the new resale shop for Willow Tree.
Very good. So yeah, and a lot of progress being made. I know you've gotten a tremendous amount of community support to this point. Do you mind highlighting some of those things and maybe recent efforts of community support?
Yes. So I'd like to start off with saying we thrive on community support, and we are actually in desperate need of continued community support. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'd like to start off with requesting prayer support. We wholly trust that God is going to provide for us and that He is going to make this turn into a reality for us and for this community. But He does that work through each and every one of us. And so my request to your listeners today is first of all, prayer support that this building will be able to come online and will be able to have the resale shop, but more importantly, be able to serve the people who need it the most. Mm-hmm. And so we're at a bit of a critical time right now. financially specifically. With the addition of the new building, we need additional financial support just to keep the lights on, in addition to proceeding with renovations. So we've got a large capital campaign that's going on right now on our website. And that flooring project, of course, feeds into this, but this is a much larger capital campaign where we're raising funds for ongoing operations and construction. And we're thinking we can get into the new building in maybe the next 12 to 18 months if the support comes in like we're prayerful that it will. Normally, the resale shop, with the local donations, and we have a few grants, usually that's sufficient. We are able to provide the services we need to the folks who need it most in our community, and it works out pretty well.
Sure.
With the purchase of the new building, though, and the necessary renovation, we need additional support until we can get the resale shop moved over.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a fast and furious infusion of financial help.
Sure. Well, Jill, and I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize for that. Maybe next time we can dive further into these things. But in the meantime, where do folks go to learn more about Willow Tree Missions and supporting your cause? How about that?
Yeah. Let's go to willowtreemissions.org. How can you help tab on the website, and you can see the list of volunteers we need, the list of goods we need, the funding that we need. And if anybody has any questions or comments or is able to participate in helping out, they can reach out to me at jill@willowtreemissions.org, or they can call me at 217-631-1018.
Jill Maxey, Executive Director of Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County. Network News is now.